Back with another sample breakdown. I've been wanting to break this one down for a minute. So yeah, today I'm gonna go in, break it down for you guys layer by layer. I'm actually gonna put a lot of emphasis on ambience because this sample is very spacious, but it's also very ambient. Like, it puts you in some type of a place when you listen to it. And yeah, I'm just gonna talk about how you can do this in your own samples. Okay, so now we start with the Rhodes. Extremely basic chord progression. We're in the key of F sharp minor and it's a 4-1 chord progression. So B minor to F sharp minor, just simple triad chords. And I'm using the Addictive Keys Warm Tines preset. This is probably my go-to preset. I use it in every single sample that uses Rhodes. Basic simple chords. I wanted to accent them a little bit, and this is the trick I've been doing in a lot of samples, where essentially you just take the chord, you offset it by, half a bar, 2 bars, and then pitch it an octave up. And this is how it sounds now. So, it just creates this bounce. Now, when it comes to processing, extremely simple: EQ, imager, and reverb. On the second accent Rhodes, same thing, I'm just not using the stereo imager. Now moving on to the bass guitar. Bass line, it might look a little bit complicated, but it's actually fairly simple. The bass line actually just follows the chord progression, and I'm pretty much just using the notes which are inside the chords themselves, and a little bit of accent notes which are still in the scale but not in the chords. Now for processing on the bass guitar, I just have Guitar Rig, Basic Bass Pro preset, haven't touched anything on it, and then just a little bit of high end taken out. For the bank, we're just using the Scarby Rickenbacker bass with the Neck Pure DI preset. Now moving on to the strings, I'm using the SRX Orchestra. Pretty much everybody knows about this one. And yeah, I'm just using the stock preset. What the strings do in this case are they're just following the root notes, but they're pitched very high, and they kind of create this tension in the sample. So let me play it. So yeah, as far as processing goes, EQ, stereo shaper, vintage, reverb, and pancake. Now moving on to the guitar, which it really puts everything together. The guitar might sound very complicated, but it's actually the delay which is doing all the magic. So if we play it without any effects, what I did here is flanger, delay, another delay, and then just taking out the low end and boosting the high end with a couple of EQs, and then I added some more panning. Now as you can see, I'm pretty much just using free plugins and stock plugins. You don't actually need a lot of plugins. I'm also gonna put down all of the presets that I use in here, and I'm gonna put them down in the description so that you can just use them in your own samples as well. Yeah, moving on, we have an ambience layer, which is very, very, very important. Now the way I make this is I just render out the entire melody, I pitch it up, and I just add a lot of delays, reverbs, EQs. Now this is what it sounds without any effects. And then I just add these effects. So yeah, when you put it together, it sits in the back, but you can still hear it, you can still notice it. And now finally, I just added this ambient speech texture, which really goes well with this and the strings. And now for the final touches. I use this on almost every sample. So I just route every layer to a mix bus, and then I put this vintage preamp. I use this COA compressor. Of course, I'm always adding some tape saturation as well. And sometimes I might add, you know, this vintage plugin, but this time I didn't use it, and that's pretty much it. So yeah, as I said, I'm gonna leave the sample in the description. I'm gonna leave all of the mixing presets. And yeah, I hope you learned something from this video. Until next time.